can't find the YouTube link, guys.
Oh my gosh, it's your birthday and you blow it.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Ryan. Woo! Yay. Happy 29, the big 2-9.
Wait, I thought it was 39.
It's crazy.
Yeah, 39?
It's actually
was that the rumor?
21.
21.
Whoa.
Let's have some drinks.
Oh, wow.
Drink.
I've seen you break so many laws.
You've done I was going to say, or on the other hand, you've done a good job of just fooling everyone this time.
Yeah, the A today stands for birthday.
Exactly,
Wow.
birthday.
Birthday.
No. I nailed it.
Yeah.
Birthday.
Yeah.
So anyways, welcome into the DNVR Broncos podcast. We are presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Make sure you check out DraftKings Sportsbook and all they have to offer when you use the code DNVR.
Did you find the link?
I did. It was just you know how sometimes the Slack just like doesn't update?
Yep.
So I was like, I don't have any new messages in Broncos assignments. Where the hell is it?
And then all the birthday messages from people in the company popped up.
Yes, it's always tough when like 3 or 4 people wish you happy birthday. You want to acknowledge them, so then you say thank you.
Yeah.
But then more people come in, and it's like, oh, I got to go say thank you again.
Yep.
It's very
10
true.
So
o'clock.
I'm trying to wait. I'm trying to make this my last one.
Okay,
Exactly,
the last
10
thank
o'clock.
you.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's when I do
Just circle back around.
And
in the evening.
instead, what you've been doing, well, along with that, is you've been giving the black hearts. That's so deadly.
I don't
That's
do
so
red.
Deathly.
Wow.
You don't do red. Nebraska?
Nothing red.
So
Black
Allie
heart,
never
though.
gets red roses, or is there an exception
White
there?
roses.
Wow.
White roses are cooler anyway.
Sure. Yeah, I
those-
don't have an issue
I feel
with
like
that.
I haven't seen those.
You haven't seen white roses?
When you say
Gotta
it
be
sounds
the second
familiar.
most popular type of
Gotta
rose,
be.
right?
Yeah, but I thought there was just one. That's like saying like, oh yeah, I mean red arches, second
Wow.
most famous arches. No, just gold
Second
though. You
most
only hear
famous
it gold.
Tissues. Like you can only think of Kleenex.
True. That is true.
That's a good point.
Wow.
But yeah, white roses are fire.
Yeah, and you've got the white today.
I do. Yeah.
Birthday white, your birthday suit. Well,
And
a little different,
orange
but
in the shirt, but no red.
there we go. Okay, yeah, I like it.
So yeah.
What are you doing today?
I'm going out for sushi.
Oh,
It's a
Ooh.
yearly
of course,
tradition for
of course.
me. Yeah.
In
Going to
Denver.
Sushi Den.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
That is. So I had it once, just like I don't know.
Yeah.
We talked about it on the show
Yep.
6 months ago or
Yep.
something.
Yep.
It was wow.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
I went not too long ago, and there's an upstairs now, and it feels like you're in a totally different. It was crazy, but I mean that's the best.
2 things. There's a Luke Combs song out right now, and he's talking about how he's in the middle of growing up and getting old. And I've never related to something so much. Parts of me, I still feel like I have a lot of growing up to do. Other parts of me, I'm like, damn, I'm washed.
Wow.
It's a weird middle ground to be in.
Well, can you wash the wash parts away?
That would require me being an adult and actually washing things.
Boy, so that requires the growing up
Yeah.
part. Wow. You are in a tough middle spot.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Jeez.
It's very weird. I can't remember if I've said this on this show before, but like sometimes I just look around at people who have much more complicated lives than I, and I'm just like, you're telling me this person has 3 kids, works more hours than I do, actually has friends, pays attention to sports, and then here's the kicker, and gets their oil changed when they're supposed
Wow,
That-
it's really
yeah.
true.
Like, how are you people doing that?
It's so
Yeah.
man, the oil change kind of ruins a week.
That's where I lack the most. I nail my daily schedule where nothing changes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, get up, have coffee, make some phone calls, hop on a meeting, come do the podcast, do another podcast after that, do another podcast after that, go home, whatever. That I've got that down.
Yep.
As soon as you throw in something else, oh, your windshield's cracked. Cool, I'll get to that in the next 6 months.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your tail light's out. Yeah, maybe next year.
Sometimes they do that.
Yeah. When I got my car, it had a cracked windshield. Still has a cracked windshield many years later.
Literally today, the day I turned 31, windshield's getting replaced.
Hey,
Wow.
are they coming
Wow.
to you?
Yeah, and
That's the way to do
and that's
it.
like
Yeah.
that makes it even worse that you put it off. All you have to do
Yeah.
is call a number.
Every
Yeah.
single time that I don't know if there's a thing is like come to you oil service, but there needs to be, because every single time that I need my oil service, I'm like, man, would I pay extra to just have them come to my car?
Yeah, or like I don't know, like something's wrong with you. You're like, I hope this goes away because I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. I haven't been to the doctor in like half a decade.
I struggle so hard with anything outside of the normal routine, even like getting groceries. But they have a thing for that now.
They
where you
do.
just get them delivered.
They
They
really
do.
anything.
Play the
Weed.
cards right. It can be cheaper too.
Huh?
It can be cheaper too.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
Amazon.
Some discount codes?
Yeah. Amazon with like if you have Prime with the free delivery, then like the prices are so cheap, like a $10 tip or whatever cancels it out.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Really quick, today's a personal one in the comments section.
Oh no.
We need likes for Ryan's birthday.
That
But
is
we're sitting at just a couple right now, but I understand that the show just started.
10 likes for every year.
Oh, there we go. Yep. So let's get to
Yep.
310 likes.
many
likes.
And then Ryan will drink all of these Avalanche Amber ales that we have on the
He
table.
will.
I'm actually, another thing, like, again, an adult
Yeah.
would say no to this.
Yeah.
But, like, we're having, like, a little company get-together at Illegal Pete's this afternoon. So that's going to be Marg's, right? Like, we're going Marg's.
Yep.
Right.
But then I'm going to sushi, and so I'm not going to be like, I started on the Marg train. I can't have sake. So, like, I'm going to make a mistake
Wow.
that I shouldn't make tonight, but I'm going to do it anyway.
That's a
true.
responsible one though. That's an okay one.
You're
We can let that
tequila
slide.
and sake,
Yeah,
we're cool with that?
we can. We can let that slide. And you know what? If you don't make it to tomorrow's pod, we'll understand why.
Yeah, well, it's the first time I've ever drank, so.
No, it's
That
true.
is
Well,
true.
then you might
That
be
is true.
toasted. Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
310. We need 310.
And look, they're coming in. They're
Oh, right.
flowing in.
29.
210.
210.
No,
Right.
210,
Of
yeah.
course. Yep.
Of course. All right, shall we talk a little Broncos?
Let's do it.
Yes.
All right, where do you want to start?
Free agents. Let's talk and let's look at this free agent class. And let's today focus on the offensive side of the ball. And one thing that we haven't talked about is a backup for Russell Wilson. Should the Broncos go out and get a notable backup? Because what if Russ isn't fixable? What if he is just the same guy that he was for the first 15
gets
games of
hurt
last
again.
year, gets hurt again? Do you want it to be Brett Rippon? Do you want it to be one of those types? Or do you want the Broncos to go out and, obviously they're not going to give a $20 million contract out to someone, but get a notable name? And there are a lot of notable quarterback names on the market. Jameis Winston, Teddy Bridgewater, two guys with ties to Sean Payton. You also have Baker Mayfield. Who are other quarterbacks out there?
Andy Dalton, Marcus Mariota, Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of names out there.
Sign me up for Gardner.
So that's your guy? You want
boy.
him to do it?
Yep. Oh, also, Cody said throw them up. I'm not sure if he's talking about thumbs up or Margs and sake.
Probably all of the above. Yep.
I would love. There's a lot of good options here.
Yeah.
And all of them are significantly and very tangibly better than Brett Rippon.
It's probably pretty fair. I will say, just like my initial reaction to this is that the Broncos aren't good enough to make a run for, I don't know, to win a few
So
playoff
what's the
games
point?
without Russell Wilson.
Why
Exactly.
even play the games?
Well, no, I'm saying if he gets hurt without him.
Okay.
Without him, they are not good enough. And so this whole like, just give 10 mil to Jacoby Brissett. I hate it so much.
No,
like there's
not-
a time and a place,
I hate
but not
that
this
too.
year.
Calm down with 10 mil.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you thinking?
Like 5.
Okay. So again, that gets you into that Teddy Bridgewater,
Gardner.
almost a Baker Mayfield. You could get Gardner Minshew.
It gets you Gardner. And I'm right there with you, Henry. With your exact
Mm-hmm.
logic, is the Broncos this year is all about Russell Wilson. So you're not really getting a guy to replace Russ in terms of Russ is just bad this year. But if you need a guy to step in because Russ does get hurt, which now, the past 2 years, he's been injured.
Mm-hmm.
So now maybe you kind of do have to be worried about that and concerned. You get a guy that can step in and play well. If this team is playing well, then it does matter. But you can't go out and spend big money on him because you're not really looking for a replacement. And that's why a guy that can step in for in a system with Sean Payton, not going to be expensive. Bring back Teddy Two Gloves, baby.
Oh boy.
Can move some more of those shirts. I don't know. I don't know if I want Sean Payton bringing back another person that did not have great vibes surrounding them in Denver.
Oh, people like Teddy. People like Teddy.
They did until the fumble recovery,
Yeah.
scoop and score.
I think people would forgive it.
Nope.
You
Well,
don't
they
think
would.
so?
Eventually,
you think
everyone
there's still ill will.
everyone
toward Teddy?
forgives it, but it's just like it's just bad vibes. Like people will be like, "Really, you're bringing back this guy?" They'll post the clip. The radio hotheads will be saying shit about it.
I don't even think of any bad vibes when I think of Teddy. Maybe it's just because I know him a little more personally than most fans, but
Yeah, I mean, great dude.
yeah.
Super nice.
Wow, no. Yeah, people are saying no. Okay, wow.
I think it'd be a lot like Vance Joseph, where again, for that like first week, you get on Twitter and everybody's like, oh my God, how is this allowed to happen? What are you thinking? And then by now, like, when's the last time you heard somebody say, like, why'd they bring back Vance Joseph?
We haven't talked about thinking about it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Once he's brought up again, I think.
Just wait until a tight end catches a seam route.
It's the same thing, though, like with Teddy, where, yeah, you'd get the first 3 days or so where everybody's like, no, Teddy, come on, that's so lame. And then a week later, people forget. And if he plays poorly, then it comes back up, and if he doesn't play, nobody thinks about it again.
Man, I mean, don't forget though, 5-0 he was in New Orleans when he filled in for Drew Brees with Sean Payton. So that's why I'm bringing him back. I also think he was signed for $6.5 million last year with the Dolphins as a backup. Now another year as a backup, I think he's going to be $3-4 million. So I just like the production, what you could get with that price.
And I think
why him over Gardner? Just because of the Sean Payton connection?
Yeah, and I would be also fine with Gardner. I think there's a lot of options that I would sign off on. Really, for me, it just comes down to let's make it under $5 million and get the best option there. And so Gardner is a good one.
And the other piece for me is that I just want the most stable situation for Russ possible. That's why, like, a Baker Mayfield, nope. A Carson Wentz, absolutely no. That's like the
Baker
most toxic
Mayfield
player.
It will be 3 weeks before people are chanting his name in the stands.
I know. You have that, but then you also have the like both him and Wentz would be more than willing to say I should be starting at quarterback right now the minute Russ has a bad game. Yeah. And so like both of them just throw him to the side. And Gardner, like, he isn't toxic down that road, but he does bring his own little sideshow with him. And that's why, like,
what's the sideshow? That he's just fun?
Yeah, exactly.
People would be wearing wigs to games.
Fun would be your word for it. Yes, I think that is it.
What other words are there?
Like, it's kind of like hillbilly fun more than anything. Like, he'll wear his cutoff. Like, again, you know it. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna live in the van with my mullet for a summer. Like, it's just one more storyline that I don't think
rules.
I just don't need any more drama, any more storylines coming out of that quarterback room. I think Teddy's probably my high end. Like, if I'm gonna spend money, I'm spending money on Teddy. And again, like you said, that's probably $5 million or so.
Yeah.
I think Chase Daniel's another easy option. He's been the backup with the Chargers. He's the backup for the Saints for 5 years. He's an older guy, but he's coming off a $2 million salary. You just give him that. It's a smart brain to put in that quarterback's room, and you'll be happy you did it.
If you want to get a stable backup, but you don't want any fans to call for him to start, Teddy Bridgewater is the perfect solution.
There you go, then.
That's actually genius. Teddy, Case Keenum, Joe Flacco, Trevor Siemian.
Hey, some of those guys you're mentioning are on the market.
I know.
Case Keenum, Trev.
Yeah. That's the perfect solution. You get a stable backup that no one wants to see start.
But there's even, like, Minshew would be very fun. I don't want my backup quarterback to be fun at all. I want the opposite of fun.
I want everyone on the team to be fun.
No, not backup quarterback. There's a situation for it. Like, if you're, I don't know, say you have Josh Allen at quarterback, sure, whatever. Have somebody fun behind him. Yeah. When you're on
Josh
this,
Allen
like,
Minshew would be fired.
Oh God, tenuous ground though with everything. Just no
Josh
no
Allen
fun there.
Enjoy some hillbilly fun.
Ryan, you didn't go far enough though. Josh Johnson, Jeff Driscoll.
No. Those aren't stable backups.
Okay.
If it comes to that, I honestly will not care. But you gotta try to do better.
Then
the Josh Johnson,
yeah.
Jeff Driscoll might even be below that line where it's like, come on, there was nobody else.
And I actually think that Sean Payton is going to want an above average backup there because as we've talked about, he's not completely sold on Russ, and that's understandable after the year that he had, and he's kind of made it clear. So I think he kind of wants someone in there so he feels comfortable, but also just to give a little push to Russ, and I think kind of the names, the Gardner Minshew, the Teddy Bridgewaters would be just that a little bit enough.
Yep. And the flip side of that again, though, is that I don't think any of these guys are going to take the Broncos to the playoffs. So say even you do get 2 weeks in and Russ, you're just like, oh, we just can't put him out there. None of these guys are going to do that. And not one of these guys has any chance to be the starter next year either. So there's just no reason to like say, oh, maybe we build around him. No. You're looking for somebody who can sit in that quarterback's room and make Russell Wilson smarter. That is job number one.
If they
Fair enough. I just had a daydream that
Great.
it was like week 4.
Love that on our show.
And
while you were talking.
Yeah.
And the Broncos were struggling. and I shaved my my facial hair into like a Fu Manchu for Minshew Mania. I called it a Fu Manchu, and Henry hated it.
I believe it.
I say we all do that if he starts for the Broncos at any point. Are you down?
I have not. Like,
it's easier
not
for me.
had sideburns.
Yeah.
Or like a full. I haven't not had a full beard since the first year I was out of college.
Wow. So would you do it? If Gardner Minshew starts a game for the Denver Broncos this year.
Starts the game for the Denver Broncos and wins, I'll do it.
Henry, are you in?
Hell no.
With those
No.
I'm in.
I don't need to see what's going on
My
with
caveat is I've never had a beard. So we'll see how it goes.
But I can tell right now it's been like a couple days since you shaved.
It has been.
You've got some action on the upper lip.
I'm due.
You have enough for the
Minshew.
sure.
It's so gross though.
There's nothing up here, but
You know what? I'll go a step. If they just sign Gardner Minshew,
I'll
do it.
You'll grow out like just
Goatee
this
Zac.
Yep,
right here.
Yep, exactly.
wow.
The perfect backup quarterback for the Broncos. No fun.
I've always
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And a hater.
I've
I know
always
my
said,
role.
Like my mustache is just built to be a role player. Like it's not a star.
Okay, what's the star? The hair?
It's
The
here,
eyes?
it's here, and here, and
Okay.
everything else. But the
Oh, like the sideburn parts.
right, like my mustache it's really like light colored, and it's not made to just be on its own.
Oh, you were talking about the mustache.
Yeah.
I see.
It is tough.
And so it just needs other players around it.
Yeah, you don't
It's
grow it
like
all
a
the way-
3&D mustache.
You don't grow it
Sometimes-
all the way up to the nose.
No, that's
Henry's a full up to the nose guy.
I go back and
But
forth.
the problem is it doesn't go that high out here.
So
So
you
then
can't.
there's like a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
little curve.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep
Oh.
everything like
Yeah.
That makes sense.
yeah.
Sometimes in the summer, it's nice to go like lighter on the beard and go a little bit heavier on the mustache.
Really?
Yeah, it's
the
like I've
summer.
never committed to it for more than like a week or so. But whenever I do, I'm like, that's not bad.
I want to see you just with straight mustache, like
Wow.
grown out fully.
Oh, yeah, that would just be Kale.
I'm not.
Kale with his hair back.
Oh my gosh, that'd be
Wow.
too good. Should we have Kale do the Hank
With his hair?
and just grow out the side,
Yeah,
the full
I mean,
beard?
That could
I
work.
wonder if his face grows hair like that.
He has a beard right now, I think. He grows
Oh
out
wow,
the beard.
I hadn't looked at his cheeks
Wow,
in a
calling
while.
out Kale's facial hair. That's tough.
Well, I
don't
mean,
think
I'm
he
just
called
saying.
it out.
I-
He just said he
he
wondered.
doesn't.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. You know what probably
I haven't looked at his
helps grow
cheeks.
out facial hair? Athletic greens. Because
thinking
it just.
Roman.
Oh, well, that probably would as well. But hair below the belt, we're talking about. I guess we could be talking about that with athletic greens. You take some athletic greens, getting probiotics, adaptogens, vitamins, got to help everything.
Speaking of athletic greens and hair, the other day I was sitting in that chair over there. Spencer was on the Rockies pod over here, and he was just like turned perfectly. The lighting was hitting his, luscious mullet perfectly. And I took a picture and just like
Yep.
sent it to his wife. I was like, the mullet's looking fire today. And she was like, he's been drinking his athletic greens every day. I swear it's made an impact.
Wow.
Whoa.
On just more beautiful hair?
Just like, yeah, like a little more shine. You're getting those vitamins.
Wow. That's athletic greens.
Yep.
That's the power of the AG1. And if you want to get in on athletic greens, go to athleticgreens.com/Broncos. And the awesome thing about going to athleticgreens.com/Broncos is we travel a decent bit. Spencer's on the road a decent bit, and you don't have to miss out on Athletic Greens when you're on the road, because if you go to athleticgreens.com/Broncos, they're going to give you 1 free year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs. Check out athleticgreens.com/Broncos. It takes you right to the page. The deal's right there on the screen when you go to it. Really nice interface, and it's cheaper than your cup of coffee a day. It's going to make you feel better, and they have over 7,000 5-star reviews. So check them out, athleticgreens.com/Broncos.
Josh McCool, great comment for the name of our new sandwich shop, Crunchies.
Oh, that's good.
I also appreciate they didn't
With
put a
some
Z on
munchies.
it. Feels
Oh,
like
yeah.
everybody now they just throw a Z in there. Like
I feel like if you put a Z, it just makes you seem small time.
yeah.
Wow, I feel like this is attacking my name.
Oof. Well, moving along. If you were to be attacked by
But you're not a business.
Maybe I
It's
am.
like when you see the sign on the business.
Zach's a
It's
business.
like, oh, we're in like a small town.
Wait, so tell me about what? Give me an example of a company with a Z.
That's the thing is you don't stick. Like I think there's
Oh,
a place
they
called
just-
like Euros with a Z on it.
Oh yeah.
Does that sound familiar?
Is that for
right
like?
down the street?
Yeah,
I've
okay,
never
I thought
had
so.
it. But
Oh,
it
yeah.
seems
Of course
like
not.
it'd be
It's a
great
Z.
drunk food.
Also, there's the defunct casino, Z Casino, who no longer exists.
Oh.
They should have called
Damn.
it casino.
Wow. We got old casino genius. Yeah, here. Sorry, my words didn't really work there.
That's tough. All right.
Backus and Shaker,
If
Backus
you
and
get
Shaker, Backus
locked
and
in an
Shaker.
old casino.
If you get
Like, imagine if Bacchus and Schenker put a Z on Bacchus.
Wow.
oh, nobody would go to them.
And that's why they don't. It was
Bacchus
Baggers
and
and Schenker.
Sounds very Eastern European.
But if you are harmed by somebody else, and again, if it was not your fault, then you should call Backus and Shaker. They've earned over $1 billion for their clients in Colorado, where they've been serving for more than 25 years. They have more than 30 lawyers on staff. They serve the entire state. With offices in Denver, Aurora, Inglewood, and Fort Collins. There's no fee while they work on your case. There's no fee for a consultation. It's just when they win your case, then they get a cut of the payout. So call Backus and Schenker because they help with all kinds of injury cases where you weren't at fault. Car accidents, motorcycle accidents, ride shares, pedestrians, trucks. They can even help if you're injured at work. Call it 222-2222 to find out if you have a case for free.
Okay, as always, we're going way too slow. So
Yep.
let's go fast. I want to hit every position on the offensive side of the ball. Wide receiver, it does nothing for me. In fact, the
Really?
Broncos signed Lil Jordan Humphrey this week.
Not little.
Not little, no, 6'4",
Yeah.
big Jordan Humphrey, especially in my eyes. And that may be like the guy that they signed in free agency at wide receiver. Anyone else do you guys want to make a case for?
I think Darius Slayton would be a great fit. Like he's just such a he's a consistent KJ Hamler is what he is. Just the speed, going downfield, sub 4.40. Like he checks a bunch of boxes.
Was he the one defending Daniel Jones' honor on Twitter yesterday?
I didn't see that, but I believe it. 3 700-yard seasons in 4 years though. Mecole Hardman, another one. Robert Woods, if you're going for speed.
Mecole Hardman, crazy.
I would love Mecole Hardman, to be honest.
I mean, just
Yeah.
KJ Hamler.
Yeah, and he's been more healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lot more stable.
If you go the slot route, Juju's out there. That'd be pretty expensive, but
Nah.
that'd be more of like if you don't trust Dulcich, then he could be kind of your guy that you plug in there.
I'm okay with going out and getting an affordable, very affordable speed guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's John Ross doing?
Oh boy.
Okay, you don't. John Ross doesn't make this team.
Okay, so there's wide receiver. Anything else you want to add on receiver?
That's most of it. Michael Thomas, I guess we should say. There's
Sure.
a chance that that's how things
He's
go.
still on the Saints though, right?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure if he's on that roster.
No, I think he actually is a free agent now.
It's tough. I'm pretty sure they haven't cut him yet, but they have to cut him in the next 8 days. Otherwise, he has a $30 million roster bonus that guarantees for
So
next
he's
year,
gonna be cut.
which is why they put that on there, guarantee
Yeah.
it. So there's a chance they rework that deal, is what Saints people are saying, because he might want to stick around with Derek Carr. If not, he'd be on the market, and who knows what he would get paid. That's tough to guess.
That would be a weird deal.
Ew.
Maybe a 1-year deal.
Yeah,
Probably
a true
one.
Prove it.
You know,
But like, I think what Pro Football Focus has it like 1 year, $12 million.
Nope.
Would anybody be surprised? The thing is, every time he's been healthy, he's been good. So if you're just
When was
giving
the
him,
last time he was
we
healthy?
can't do this
though?
again.
I mean,
What, yeah, so that's what free agents are typically.
but I mean that was the beginning of this season. Was when he had it's 3 touchdowns in the first 2 games.
But I mean, and then he was hurt the rest of the
Exactly.
season. So yeah, no.
oh yeah, totally.
we went full Nene.
And they missed the year before that.
Okay, tight ends. Anything there? Obviously, the biggest name is Dalton Schultz. I don't think the Broncos are going after a big time tight end here.
I think there's a chance. I do think there's
Ooh,
a chance.
of Dalton.
I mean, Schultz is the big one. And again, this is like depending on how they feel about Dulcich. He's the one do-it-all tight end that's out there this year. You know, he's a good blocker, but he also will give you 700 receiving yards, probably a bunch of touchdowns. Coming into his prime also because he's pretty young, 26, 27. So I think that he's the big name. Then you also have like Jasicki, who's probably going to get quite a bit of money. Irv Smith Jr. has been good when he's been healthy, but hasn't been healthy often. So that's another tough one. Then Austin Hooper's kind of the cheaper vet, you know.
I think you're going cheaper vet.
Probably.
route here.
I have a sleeper take that Albert O might actually be involved in the offense.
There's a good chance, yeah.
I mean, love it. One of the things that Sean Payton knows how to do is use everyone on his offense, and that's kind of where Albert O has got pushed out. Is just they're like, you can't do it all. Sorry, man.
Yep.
And Albert O, yeah, he can't do it all, but Sean Payton says or will know how to use him, even though he can't do it all.
Yeah, I could just see Sean Payton being like, yeah, well, we're going 5 wide with Dulcich and Alberto. What are you doing?
Yep, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, he just fits the scheme a lot better, but a lot of it is going to be on him. 0.69 yards per route run, which was ahead of Divino Zigbo, Brandon Johnson, Montrell Washington,
But that's not
behind
on him.
everybody else. I mean,
That's what they're asking him to run. It's not like he accidentally ran the route too short.
true. I mean, or he wasn't getting open, or there were some drops. But even like Eric Saubert, 0.78 yards per route run. Tomlinson is 0.81. You go up to Dulcich, 1.3. Like the numbers would also suggest even when he was asked to just go be a receiver, it didn't go well last year. Which again, you're not in a rhythm. There's all that stuff. I think he's going to get his chance, but it's not like he's this world-beating receiver.
I think Sean, if anyone can get anything out of him, I
True.
think so. And I don't think the Broncos are going to go big at the tight end position, because with one of the guys like Dalton Schultz, you're paying him $15 million a year. I think the Broncos will pass on that. And remember, George Paton, that was his draft pick. Greg Dulcich was his draft pick, so he's still tied to him.
The question is just like, there aren't a lot of places where you can add talent to the offense. You know, add players who can take the ball and go score with it, people who can go pick up yards, especially now that the big running backs are out. So if you can't do it at receiver, you can't really do it at running back. Tight end is kind of that last option.
Well, and let's talk about running back, because as you said, Hank, man, did this seem like it was going to be an all-time running back free agent class? And then everyone got tagged. I mean, the top 3, Saquon, Josh Jacobs, and Tony Pollard, all got tagged. It's still, there's still talent out there, but it's like the splash, the big names are now all gone. So what route do the Broncos
And this
take?
tells you that running back value is disproportionately low because everyone is willing to put the tag on him because it's just so cheap.
And if you're going to draft a running back, especially in the first round, the way to do it is to pick up their 5th-year option, then franchise tag them, and then if they still have a little more left, you franchise tag them a second time, and then you let them go, because then that's 7 years. Yeah, exactly. So there's just no need to pay these guys big contracts. Franchise
Running backs
tag
might
them.
have to do something about that in the next CBA.
What can they do?
I don't know. But 7 years for running back is a long career.
Right.
And so you could go your whole career without ever getting a chance to get a big contract.
It's really true. It's really true. Now, over those 3 years, if that were to happen, you probably make $35 million.
Yeah, but you also could be like in the MVP conversation.
It's true. I mean, like Saquon.
Yeah. So it's actually really unfortunate for running backs. I do think we're going to start to see those contracts tick back up. And more first-round picks.
They're just going to have to get contracts in order to get that to tick up, because now all these guys are just getting tagged.
I know.
So
Trade for Derrick Henry.
Yeah. So he's at $10 million this year.
Yeah.
Which is
steal.
Oh, did you say trade for Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So here's who some of the names are at running back right now: Miles Sanders, David Montgomery, Jamal Williams, Alexander Madison, Jerick McKinnon, Rashard Penny, Kareem Hunt, Dante Foreman, and kind of the list goes on. Playoff Lenny's on there too.
Alexander Madison might make sense with George Paton ties. A guy who's had to step in and be the starter for Dalvin Cook when he went down. Kind of, it really just depends on Javonte. If they're saying, hey, Javonte will be back week 7 and we think he'll be ready to go, well then, you go get Alexander Madison, say, hey, can you carry the load for us with Latavius Murray to start the season?
Yeah.
And, then you have Javonte coming on the back end of that. Or if the fears about Javonte are true, then you have to probably aim higher than this.
Exactly. And I think the
Definitely.
aiming higher in terms of a contract, when I look at these running backs that are available, Miles Sanders and Kareem Hunt. I think both of those guys are going to get $5 million plus. Sanders, I think, according to some national estimators, he's going to be around $7 or $8 million, and he's been really linked to the Broncos. There's been a lot of just things swirling about him and the Broncos, and if they do that, that's bad news for Javonte Williams. Miles Sanders, though, quietly very productive. A 1,200-yard season last year, and he's not even like the bell cow, or he wasn't on that Eagles team. I don't think he does much in the pass game. So as a runner, though, but that would be bad news
And they
for Javonte.
didn't necessarily trust him in pass pro, which is great.
Yeah.
And I mean, Miles Sanders did have like a great year. 1,300 rushing yards for the Eagles, and I think he had 4.5 yards per carry, 4.9 yards per carry or something.
4.9.
The tough part though is that he was this fourth in the NFL among running backs in yards before contact per attempt. So 3.2 yards before contact, whereas, Kareem Hunt, for example, 1.9.
Right.
And so when you look at the difference between those two, you wonder how much of it was the offensive line. And so that's why I think Miles
Best
Sanders
offensive
probably
line in
is
the game,
exactly
Kinda crazy.
Yeah.
So
You
Miles
only have
Sanders
to,
is probably
fall
top.
forward 2 feet to average 4 yards per carry.
Yep. But that's where like David Montgomery, Devin Singletary, like those are 3 down backs who consistently give you 1,000 yards from scrimmage. They feel safer to me than Miles Sanders, though Sanders probably has the upside there.
What about Dante Foreman? Now,
Yeah.
he would certainly be one where it's just it's a plug-in, whether you're getting a 3rd-round draft pick or a 4th-round draft pick, and you're kind of relying on that draft pick a little more, or that would be just they're really hoping that Javonte is good come week 8 of the season or something. But, man, did Devonta Foreman, did he just burst onto the scene last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really struggled with Dante.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Dante Foreman, and I have since he came out. Last year, he kind of kind of became the guy that everyone thought he could be for so long.
Yeah.
But that bowling ball style back, is a little bit along the same lines as what Javonte is. I think Javonte's a little more explosive, but would be a kind of a nice, what's the word I'm looking for, style fit.
Yeah.
For a transition when Javonte comes back.
And if you include like Latavius in this conversation, you're probably going to sign 2 backs out of this whole list if you include Latavius in there too. But Latavius probably isn't one of them if you go for Foreman, because they're basically that same style, like 6'1", 236, just power runner.
Is Jamal Williams available?
Yes.
Yeah. So yes,
Ooh, I like that.
he's another one. Again, 17 touchdowns, 1,000-yard season.
17 touchdowns is absurd.
It
Did the
is.
Broncos score
Yeah.
17 touchdowns in the season?
Probably just over.
Yeah, yeah. But that
1 per game.
I do wonder though, like you even have Rashad Penny out there, who, if you do go get like a Dante Foreman, you get Rashad Penny, all of a sudden you have kind of 2 lottery tickets. Foreman, who just popped off the second half of the season after they traded Christian McCaffrey. Rashad Penny, who became the starter in 2021, and in the last 7 games of the season had 19 yards, 39 yards, 135, 137, 170, 190. And in these
an
last 2
absurd run.
Yes, over the last 2 years, he's averaged over 6.1 yards per carry in both. He's just missed so many games that
Sounds
you
like
can't
you're
really
naming
expect
off
much.
Like Terrell Davis playoff game.
Exactly. So, like, do you throw the dice there? I don't know. Damian
Boy,
Harris is another.
Signing an injured guy sounds like you're going to get an injured
Probably.
guy. Scares me a lot there. Anyone else you guys want to throw out there for running back?
There's a lot of options, and it feels like foregone conclusion the Broncos will sign one of these guys.
Probably 2.
Yeah.
If it could get, including Latavius.
Right.
Since we don't know for sure.
Right. And potentially there's only a couple of really big names out there that would not even really big, but big names out there that would get big contracts and really open your eyes. Otherwise, running back by committee for the most part.
Yep.
And this leads us to what I think is the best position out there, offensive line. And guys, I got to say, this is so rare to have so many good, not elite players, but good offensive linemen on the market. And this lines up perfectly for the Broncos. We just went through it. The Broncos can use a running back, but there's not really a place where they're going to spend big. Same with tight end, same with wide receiver, same with quarterback at that backup spot. And they need to spend money on offense. And I think it lines up with the deepest position that's available in free agency. So I think this is something Henry and I are really going to disagree with. I love this free agency group for the Broncos on the offensive side of the ball. It matches up with exactly what they need, specifically at the tackle position. There's a big 4. We've talked about Orlando Brown, we've talked about Kaleb McGary, and we've talked about Mike McGlinchey. There's also Juwan Taylor, who had a really good season last year. Still a young guy, 2nd-round pick with the Jaguars. He's out there. There's 4 guys that the Broncos can get. They have to land one of them, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I think I disagree with you a little bit on the strength of the class, but I do believe that there are starters available, and the Broncos desperately need them, so they have to go be aggressive. Now, I also think that there's so much need at this position across the league that regardless of who you're going for, you're in a bidding war. You want Kaleb McGary, like, good luck, because you're entering an auction, essentially, depending on what he wants and what he's interested in. He's my favorite of the group, other than Orlando Brown, but it's going to be tough. Like, it feels like, 4 starters, Broncos should get one. Well, 30 teams are interested in upgrading their offensive line, so it's going to be tough.
Yeah, and I think, of those top 4, I would guess that if the Broncos land any of them, they're not going to get their money's worth. Odds are, when you go into a bidding war like that, you're going to wind up paying $16 million for a $12 million player. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
That's free agency, though.
Yeah, yes. No, it's true. It is true. But that is
first wave, at least.
Yeah, that is just something that you got to deal with here, where these aren't all pro type guys. These aren't guys who you expect to go out there and be the best tackles in the game. Every one of them has flaws, and so you're kind of just picking which flaws you can live with and who you want to roll the dice on. And it's, this is a position, the tackles in particular really stress me out, because you have to do something, and I don't. Orlando Brown's the only one you can trust.
And I don't even know about that. I think of the 4 guys that I mentioned, Orlando Brown was the worst last year. Now, Orlando Brown has the best career and body of work, but if you're just looking off of last year, I think there's a lot of analytics, advanced stats that would say that he was the worst of the 4.
I think that Chiefs offensive linemen are always going to be hard to evaluate because of the way that Patrick Mahomes plays.
That's fair. That's fair. But some of these other guys graded out, specifically Juwan Taylor and Kaleb McGary, graded out as like 2 of the best tackles in the NFL last year. Now, both of those guys, more so one-hit wonder, specifically McGary. That's why the Falcons didn't even pick up his 5th-year option for this year before the season, is because he didn't live up to it. He was great last year. Juwan Taylor was really good last year. And Mike McGlinchey, I think he's an above average tackle. So I think you're getting, with any of these guys, an above average tackle, which I don't think you typically are able to find on the free agent market. So when I say this is a really good class, I'm comparing it to like other free agencies where maybe there's 1 average tackle that's out there. Now I think you have 4 above average not right tackles, but tackles on the market.
Yeah. And just to expand on what I was saying about Patrick Mahomes, is like Peyton Manning and Drew Brees did just endless favors for their offensive line by the way they played. It was 1, 2, 3, check down. Patrick Mahomes is like the opposite. Now, he has like horrible habits that he just happens to be too talented for it to matter. But like, he'll stand back there, run around, and like if he's running around back there, you've given up a pressure. You know what I mean? So that it's the stats are, I think, would probably bear out that they're not great for any of his tackles over the years.
And specifically the first half of last year, he was not good, like bottom of the league. And then the second half in the playoff run, I think it was week 10 on, he only gave up like 3 pressures or something. So he did, and I'm not down on Orlando Brown, but I think that you can get one of these guys for $15 million a year, and that's not elite money. I think Orlando Brown's going to get elite money. I think these other 3 guys, you're going to be able to, you're going to pay a lot, but $15 million does not seem that bad to me for an above average tackle. You're paying Garrett Bowles on a contract that you signed him to 2 years ago. I know he's left tackle, but you're paying him $17 million a year. So to pay a guy less than him 2 years later, I think that'd be a hell of a deal.
Yeah, but he is better, I think. Only Orlando Brown would get more money on the open market than Garrett this year.
Oh,
I think that's.
I would take any of these guys over Garrett. Personally,
it's a weird one. It's a weird one.
Yeah.
I would like to have them both, but that might not be an option. With Orlando Brown, like Jose saying, he insisted on playing left tackle just for the money, and he was right.
Yeah.
So he should do that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Bowles to me is honestly closer to Brown money-wise than McGlinchey or McGary. Like, I think that's how it pan out. And a lot of that is because the left tackle just kind of like levels him up a spot versus these guys who, the right tackles are important, as Broncos fans know at this point, but they can only go so far. I think, to me, what I do is I go after McGlinchey. I think that he's a good tackle. He's a good tackle. He's also probably been really helped out by having George Kittle right next to him for 50% of the plays, probably 60% of the plays he's on the field, maybe even more than that, honestly. And that is a little bit scary, but 2021 was the only time he missed significant time, so you can trust him there. I think that's where I would go first here.
And that's fair. I think I've been very high on McGlinchey, so I'm right with you. Okay, guys, let's now build our free agency on the offensive side of the ball. First, I got to tell you about our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Bet $5 using the code DNVR when you sign up at DraftKings Sportsbook, and they're going to give you $200 in bonus bets. That's use the code DNVR, place $5 over at DraftKings Sportsbook, and you're going to get $200 in bonus bets. Man, I know a lot of people at All City last night were placing money on the Nuggets to come back.
Yeah.
Man, at one point they were plus 2,500, and for
Oh, I know.
one of the few times all season they lose at home. Typically, though,
30-5 now at home.
if you're able to get good odds on the Nuggets at home, you take it. So it's just one of those ones where sometimes you got to give the money back.
Almost every other time this year when they've been in that situation, they turned it on in the fourth quarter. So I just kept boom, boom, boom. It's coming.
And so eventually you're plus money over the season,
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to win some, you'll lose some.
And Nuggets just had a stinker last night, and too bad it was against the All-City team.
That was hard to watch.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
They just refused to run their offense because
Yep.
they were trying to shoot their way back into
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Except for one notable player who refused to take a 3-point shot.
Who's that?
Jamal.
Jamal shot
Whoever-
7 or 8.
Did he finish
Yeah,
with that
he was
many?
1
And he
for
was
7 or 1 for 8.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there were a few
what was his
early.
over-under?
It would have been like 3.5 because he had 2 to set the
2.5,
record.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And that's why it
Everyone
felt,
here bet him
Yeah.
to hit the
Yeah.
over.
Yep.
it felt like he just, to me, wasn't trying to hit in the second half because he didn't want it to be in a loss.
Oh,
That's
God,
what that's
a
what it
take.
looked like to me.
Wow.
No, he shot a bunch. So
Well, that's pretty much the take that you had on Twitter about.
close.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You almost just got by me last night.
What was it?
I said someone tomorrow is going to have the take that Jokic purposefully didn't get a triple-double so he didn't spoil
Oh,
his
wow.
perfect record with triple-doubles.
Wow.
Was he close?
Yeah, he had 2 assists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You putting that out there?
No,
Little conspiracy?
I want to be able to see. I'm waiting. Someone's going to tag me today.
When
and
you say
you were right.
someone, we know who it's gonna be.
Well, it could be locally and it could be nationally.
Yeah, probably nationally.
I was actually thinking locally when I tweeted it.
Oh, okay. I just thought you were thinking Kendrick Perkins.
I don't think. I'm not going to talk about Kendrick Perkins.
No.
Yeah, well, I actually do. I just don't want to.
What was I saying? DraftKings.
DraftKings.
The only team that has better odds than the Nuggets of winning the West is now the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah,
Do you see KD?
Yeah.
yeah.
Not, which is terrible.
That
It's
was
just terrible that happened.
Yeah, it really is.
Fluke.
So terrible.
That was supposed to be his home debut. I didn't
I
realize
know.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
So many people bought tickets to that game. Game time was probably popping.
Oh, yeah.
The problem is I really wanted you kind of need the Suns just to go on a run and pass the Kings so that
put 'em on the other
they're in the
side.
3 instead
Yeah.
of the 4 spot. And now
they would get the 2. The Kings are tied for 2.
oh
now.
sorry. Now 3 is the Mavs?
No,
The Grizzlies, of course.
are
Oh,
next.
because the Grizzlies are there. Duh. So yeah, you need them to pass the Grizzlies so that they're on the other side. Now I don't think they're bad enough to fall all the way to 6, maybe, but I don't know. It kind of sucks for the
good point.
Nuggets that Kevin Durant's out right now.
Wow.
You want the Suns? In the first, are you out of your damn mind?
If you want a championship, you gotta go through the best, and that's going through the Suns.
Wow.
No, you don't. You don't have to go through the best.
Yeah, you just.
You want path of least
No,
resistance.
it's-
The
like-
Eagles almost did it going through the worst.
They
very true.
played nobody
They lost at the end.
because they
Yeah.
had to play a good team. Give me,
Go through the best.
give me a
Such a
dub
bad
over
take.
pride.
No, go
Yeah.
go the
Just-
easy route. No one's
Yes.
gonna remember how easy or difficult it was. But anyways,
I don't
Unless
care if
it's
they
LeBron.
face off with the local 5th grade YMCA team.
That's just a lucky break. Yeah.
use that promo code DNVR to get $200 by placing a $5 bet over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Or if you want to bet on the Buffs to win in
Just a
13
few
minutes.
Yep. Gonna be a tough one, but UCLA lost their best player.
Oh,
So
recently?
Yep. So we also lost our best player.
Yeah.
but
What are
we've
the
kind of
odds?
been stepping up without him.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
I think like plus 400.
Okay.
It was like plus 370. I had a $10 free bet because of the horrible thing that happened to the Nuggets last night.
Yep.
And so I put that on the Buffs to win the Pac-12 championship.
Hell of a
Pays 400 on a $10 free bet, which
you go.
if they get through today,
wow. You
Yeah.
feel good about it.
yeah, exactly.
All right. Also, a shout out to our friends over at FOCO. If you want a Broncos Hawaiian shirt to go with a Broncos sombrero, to go with some Broncos socks, to go with some Broncos sandals, to go with a Broncos swimsuit
Wow.
Wow.
for just the ultimate summer outfit, get over to FOCO. It's probably the only place where you could knock all of those things out and put them in your cart and then use the code DNVR and get 10% off all of it.
That's
Probably.
very true.
Probably. It's crazy how many different things they have.
They have everything. So get over to FOCO. And all I talked about just now was clothes. They also have memorabilia. They have bobbleheads. They have everything over at FOCO. So again, get over there, FOCO.com. Use the code DNVR for 10% off your entire order.
And let's get over to our free agency board. And we know the Broncos can have about $40 million in cap space by making some moves. And today we're going to have a little fun. We're just going to spend that money on the offensive side. Tomorrow, we're going to be spending this on the defensive side. So this is, a little bit of fairy tale land here.
Is there a
love fairy
chart
tale
somewhere
land.
where I can look at the estimated?
Oh,
So
how
I
about the
told
one that I
you
sent to you
come
yesterday?
Prepared.
In Slack. Right under Zach's
Jeez.
message to come prepared.
That's totally fair. All you had to do is say, yeah, it's in the Slack.
No, but
I
that's
was
no
already in
fun.
the Slack.
This is way more fun.
Just to berate him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that
What's
is
up,
fun.
man? It's my birthday.
It's what we were all
Yeah,
hoping
that's
for
really
when this
true.
happened.
It is his birthday. So we have $40 million,
Oh, yeah.
and we can all take the same player. It's not like a draft style. We can all build the exact same board if we want, but you have to. We don't have to spend the $40 million. You obviously can't go over the $40 million, and you can spend it on one player. Ryan may just give Orlando Brown $40 million, or you can spend it on 8 different players, however you want to do this. So where are you guys starting? Start kind of with your top priority, and then make your way down.
Henry?
I'll take McGlinchey. McGlinchey's the big money guy to me. I think there is a chance that in a couple years you look at this and say like, this is sure he's a starting tackle. Is he worth this much money? No. Maybe he doesn't really fit what the Broncos want to do. He is kind of that longer, leaner, more mobile type of tackle, which is why he fits so well with the 49ers. And maybe you do see a lot of these outside zone runs from Sean Payton. He's been very varied in the things that he does. I'll put McGlinchey 1.
Wow, Henry, now we got to give it right back to you.
Oh, call it 15 mil.
Whoa,
15 and a
no,
half?
we're not calling it.
Calling
What,
it.
no, what are you talking about?
Is it 15 and a half?
I don't know. It's locked.
Oh, my
I can't
goodness.
see
I'm
it.
not logged in either.
Oh, you're locked?
Yeah. So tell
Oh.
it. You got
Fun
to
fact about
tell
Henry,
us.
he has every subscription.
He does.
I do. I just got that Spot Rack subscription this week.
Wow.
He has
It's a
everything.
dream. It's a dream. 15 and a half from
15
from
and a
Pro
half.
Football Focus.
What?
4 years.
It doesn't matter about the years.
Yeah.
Just do 15.
So McGlinchey's 15 and a half. You got to tell me about these other guys then.
Okay.
What's Juwan Taylor?
Oh, Jawan Taylor, 16.
Okay. And Kaleb McGary?
13.
13. Okay. And what's Orlando Brown?
21.
21. Man, they're all kind of right there. You said Kaleb McGary is how much?
13.
Give me Kaleb McGary.
Ooh.
$13 million.
I got you on the McGary trade.
I hate it so much.
Essentially, I like any of those 3 guys equally for the most part. So give me the cheapest one.
I honestly don't think I'd touch Kaleb McGary.
Oh.
I think he's one of those guys. I think he's look, in a contract year, he just went from a fringe starter to, look, the stats say he was really good. He's also a part of a great rushing offense, which, works 2 ways. There's, 6 people involved with that, the 5 linemen and a running back. How much of the weight did he carry, and how much is he benefiting from the other stuff?
I think it was about like 315.
Yeah, it's about 315. But yeah, to me, I'm staying away. I'm off McGary.
It's fair. It's fair. And McGlinchey's pretty much been my number 1. I'm just
Yep.
switching it up here
Yep.
because you saved $2.5 million.
Fair enough. I will go Orlando Brown at $21 million a year. Sign me up. In fact, that's easy.
Easy. Okay.
I've got 40 to work with.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
You got 40 to work with. There's half
Yeah.
of it. Henry, where are you going now?
By the way,
I mean, I'd like it.
in this scenario, I personally would try to move Garrett to the right side because I don't think, or maybe you pay Orlando Brown left money and then you're like, hey, we actually want you on the right. If he accepts that, it's cool with me.
Yeah.
Giving you left tackle money, which
Yeah.
is why you want to be on the left side anyways.
Right. I don't think he would. I think he's past that
Yeah.
part. Or maybe he said, actually, left is really hard. I don't want to do that anymore.
Good case.
Possible.
And you can send him over to right. But otherwise, I would move Bulls to right. I know we've talked about that being difficult over and over and over again. We've had a million conversations about Garrett Bowles. One thing that gets lost about Garrett Bowles, he's extremely athletic. And to me, that part of that athleticism means he can figure it out on the right side.
Yep. And honestly, even with McGlinchey, I think it's a conversation. And I know he's been right tackle his entire career, but you just look at those two players and their skill sets and their builds, and you'd say, like, in a vacuum, which one's the right tackle, which one's the left? You'd say McGlinchey's left and Bowles is right. And it's probably not worth flipping, but I bet they have to talk.
And let's see how things shake out because I might change up on you guys.
Whoa.
It was 21, right?
21.
21.
But it will be 25 for Brown, I
I don't think so.
But I mean, hey, PFF's helping you out here, Ryan. So I like 21 for Brown.
Yep, me too.
I wasn't listening when he said 21, or maybe that would have been my number one pick. I just assumed it was 25.
Listening comprehension goes a long way.
It's
It
tough.
does.
Yeah, it does. Look what it gets you. Henry, where are you going?
Isaac Seumalo. This one scares me.
Injuries.
Exactly, and that's why, to me, he is the best lineman who is available. The problem is,
Awesome this year.
yeah, he's sick. He is sick. He's a big guard who is functional in the pass game. Is just like he blows things up in the running game, and I think because of that, I'm willing to take a risk. Although it feels kind of dumb considering he'd only played 12 games in the previous 2 years before this year, 9 and then 3. He's just a super talented blocker though, and if you're gonna move on from Reisner, you might as well upgrade. And he's the one guy I'm confident in is an upgrade over Reisner. Isaac Seumalo. I'll send it in the chat.
Seumalo.
Yep. 11 million.
Okay. I'm going to go with guard for this one. I'm going to go with someone more reliable who is also coming off an incredible season. It's kind of a one-hit wonder, so you are taking a little bit of a gamble there, but he has played more than just this past year. I'm going Ben Powers. I think it's a meteoric upgrade from Dalton Reisner. Now, you do have some concerns. I mean, he was one of the best guards graded out across multiple different platforms in the NFL last year. But like I said, he did take a big jump last year. So I'm going Ben Powers. And how much is he on PFF? 10. Okay, give me Ben 10. Ben 10. Give me Ben for 10. And if he really is $10 million and cheaper than Dalton, that is just wild. But I just massively upgraded one of my guard positions in my right tackle spot.
We're all going OL back to back. I have just traded Garrett Bowles
Oh, whoa.
for a second-round pick,
Wow.
and
Can't believe
I
you're
would
doing
now
this.
like to select Kaleb McGary.
Wow.
Wow.
I won't make you guys account for the cap space that I
we
just
won't.
freed up by trading Garrett Bowles.
So you're just pretty much done? No, I guess you're
I
not.
got 10 million more.
So McGary is, how much is he?
Okay.
13?
So I've got 6 million more. Plus, we're being real. I just freed up a bunch of money. But hey, it's okay.
We're not being real.
I can let you do that. I can let you free
Oh,
up the money.
wow.
All right. I like that. So what did I free up? 10?
Yes.
By trading
It would be
Bowles?
10, yeah.
Yes.
All right. I'm back in biz.
So
16 left.
somehow put that on there.
Yeah, good luck.
Bulls plus 10. So instead of the player, put trade Bulls plus 10 mil.
Yeah, that's not going to fit on this graphic.
Also learn how to
No,
spell
it will, because
Seumalo.
he's got a
Oh.
little spot for the money.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah,
So like
here's-
for my third
Yeah,
my
here's-
third player, you're saying like minus Bulls
yeah.
plus 10?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Um,
You got that? Yeah. He's dialed.
Yeah.
Oh.
He has the headphones on. We know he can hear us.
yeah, it's true. He. Oh,
Yeah, see, now,
wow.
I would-
See,
we
I
were
was just
saying-
thinking the next category down.
So where it says player, just put minus Bulls, and then where the money is, put plus 10M.
Yep.
Henry?
No, you could just use
So-
the minus symbol.
I need to I need to make a little adjustment here because Right now, I'm sitting on 26.5 million.
Okay.
And I would like to spend 14.5 million, but that gets me 41.
Wow.
So
Yeah, you can't do it.
Cap's not real. Just do it.
It's true. We'll give a little leniency.
Okay. We're going Dalton Schultz. All of a sudden,
wow.
you at 14.5. I mean, this is one of the 10 best tight ends in the game. And you could see a world in which he is just kind of starting to blossom. I mean, people forget that all these tight ends, it isn't until they hit 27, 28, 29 that they really take off to the next level. I mean, where were people on Travis Kelce 8 years ago? They were saying like, oh, greatest of all time. He was good. He was a Pro Bowler. And that's where, I mean, Dalton Schultz turns 27 this summer. He's put up an 800-yard receiving season, had 577 this year, and he's a really good blocker. You put him with McGlinchey on that right side, there you go. It's just like it's not just like Kittle McGlinchey, but if that's what was helping McGlinchey in San Francisco, you've at least given him an opportunity. You've helped him out a little bit there. Plus, you now have a new second or third best pass catcher on your offense.
I like it.
Yep.
I like it. Too much of a luxury for me, but I like what you're building with this dream team. Okay, Ryan, the reason I allowed you to trade Garrett Bowles and save $10 million is I am trading Garrett Bowles, especially for a second-round pick and saving $10 million. And then I'm also, I'm just going to flip you, Ryan. I'm going to spend $21 million on Orlando Brown.
Oh, my God.
He's my left tackle. McGarry's my right tackle.
Documented that I was the visionary here.
I was ready to do it. Yep. So there we go. I have a new left tackle, new right tackle, and a new guard. Yep, I'm feeling great.
Oh my goodness.
Offensive line is set.
Okay. Henry, I have some questions for you.
Okay.
Can I get numbers on
Oh, boy.
What are you sitting at
CJ
right
GJ?
Yep.
He's, I think, the last one on the list.
11.5.
Okay.
now? Wait, no. This is offense.
yeah,
We're just looking at offense, unless you want to play wide receiver.
There's some slot work. Okay, sorry. Well, then that just makes us. Yeah, I have 16 mil left, so I guess I'm adding. Okay, so what's the story with the center?
Ooh, Posich is the big name.
Yes, but what's there's apparently rumors that him and Russ didn't get along.
There's rumors,
yeah.
And beyond that, I think maybe they kind of expanded because of the whole like he's 6'6", and so it turned from a rumor into Russ is short bit. So who knows how those two things kind of balance out. He wasn't any good. Like the Mina Kimes podcast, I remember halfway through the season, she was saying like, all these Seahawks fans are just talking about how terrible Postage is and how awful he is every single week. Now he's good. And so it is kind of like a one-hit wonder type deal, but these $7 million on here, Pro Football Focus has him listed as the top center. Gets paid a little bit less than Connor McGovern, though, they think.
Interesting.
You still need a backup QB too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need that.
I don't have to.
Huh.
By PFF grade, he was the number 3 center in the NFL this year.
What was McGovern?
But that's PFF. That's where I don't trust him. McGovern 10, yeah.
And he's getting paid more?
7.5.
All right, I'm going to do the safe thing here because I don't know about this relationship between Posich and Russ. I'll take Connor McGovern. Bring him home.
That's a good pickup. Again, it's one of those where, like, if you're giving another option, like you go get Graham Glasgow and give him like $4 million. If you tack another 3.5 on, and all of a sudden you have McGovern, then you even move Lloyd Cushionberry. That's a good one.
How much is on McGovern?
7.5.
7.5. Okay, so Ryan, you're tapped out.
No, I had 16 left,
You
so
had
now
16. Wow.
Wow.
Henry, how are you finishing it off?
I'm over the cap.
Oh, you're over the cap. You're done. Okay, I like that. 3
Yeah.
players. I think I have $6 million left. How much is Teddy Bridgewater?
Ooh, I think right around there. 5.
5. How much is Baker?
6.25.
6.25. Give me Teddy. Give me
Thank
Teddy.
God.
Lock
Yes.
up that backup spot, and I am checked out now.
5.
Teddy for 5.
All right, Henry, I'm going to need you to read me off all of the available running backs.
Okay, and how much money do you have?
I have $9 million.
Oh, okay, so just about all of them are in play. Miles Sanders 7.5, David Montgomery 6.5, Devin Singletary 4.3, Jamal Williams 4.5, Deontay
Jamal
Foreman.
Williams 4.5. Lock him in.
Ooh.
I like it.
Yep.
And what do
And
you have?
you get a dog. Need dogs.
Yep.
Oh, definitely.
Dude.
What a character too.
Yeah.
So now
In
you
a
have
great way.
1.5.
Don't you think he would be the ultimate like?
Oh, yeah.
So like, I don't know why I just have this feeling about him, but you know how Flacco is like the Jokic whisperer.
Yep.
I just have a feeling that Jamal Williams would be the Russ whisperer.
Yeah.
He would be the one defending him every single week. Like, y'all are crazy hating on Russ. This is BS. And then like, just know, like, I feel like he would just know what to say to Russ, like in the huddle, just to, like make him smile.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
That's,
know.
people are saying that Ryan won and I fumbled it. We have pretty much the exact same. I see some bias here, Jose. Jeez Louise.
You picked the guy who everyone in the comments said we don't want him.
Oh, my last guy is a backup.
Wow.
At least I have a quarterback to back up
Wow.
Russ. Jeez, Jose. I thought you had in fact, I got the better guard too with
Yeah.
Powers over McGovern.
RK starting Quinn Bailey at guard.
No.
Oh, going Luke Wattenberg.
I'll figure something out.
Okay.
Third round pick.
Third round pick. There you go.
Yeah, I do actually. I
do.
keep going.
There's no player slot.
Yeah, you know what? Nope, you ran out of space.
No.
Sorry. Your 53 is filled now.
Make sure everyone knows that I'm still cooking.
You're still okay. Yeah, we'll make it known to just right now. Yep. Wow, I can't believe I lost people at Teddy. 5-0 with Sean Payton, guys. Don't forget.
It's been forgotten.
It has been forgotten. Wow, man.
Wow.
Anyways, that was fun.
That was
Get
fun.
ready to do it
That was
tomorrow.
fun.
Henry, make sure to have your PFF subscription
Oh,
updated
yep,
for tomorrow
yep.
or just alive tomorrow, and Ryan will be ready
Yep.
to build a good
Don't
defense.
let me get inspired.
Oh, and also I'm gonna have my offensive preview for free agency up today. So
Oh,
look for that
hell
on the
yeah.
website. It's getting a little bit too big, which is going to make it a long day, but you guys hopefully will like it.
Ryan, we've got some shout outs for you on the website. I know we got to go for the CU game, but Nash Broncos says, happy birthday, RK. I think I speak for the whole DNVR fan when I say we love your pride for Colorado, sense of humor, and excellent food takes. Hope you have a fantastic day. And Arvada Luke says, happy birthday, RK. For your birthday, I got you a thumbs up on YouTube.
Wow. Let's
go.
I hope you like it.
Congrats
we didn't even
on
get close to our goal. I'm only 11 years old. Now.
Exactly, yeah. You just turned
Wow,
11.
Yeah, 11 and a half.
11 and a half.
11 and 4 months. Let's go.
Happy 11.4th birthday.
We're actually 11 because there's 4 thumbs down.
Oh.
Dang. Okay, yeah, you
Oh.
can't drink
Oh.
today, though. Sorry.
How could we have a thumbs down today?
Yeah, it's been
Um,
fun.
Wait, who was the first commenter?
It was Nash Bronco.
Thank you, Nash Bronco. Thank you guys all. It has been a great birthday. 2 things I'll ask for you guys for my birthday for everyone here. 1, thumbs up on your way out.
Boom.
2, throw some chips on your sandwich today.
Oh, instead of pouring one out for RK,
Yeah,
you're throwing
throw
some chips on the
there,
Sammy.
Smack it down, crunch them up,
I love it.
and enjoy. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for us today. We'll be back tomorrow.